Hello, welcome to my biomechanical analysis project on technique of the performance of a Cybex rotary torso selectorized strength machine. When performing a qualitative biomechanical analysis, there are 4 steps to follow. The first one is a description of the movement, exercise, activity that you are analyzing or having your client perform. The second step would be observing the client or the athlete in performing that movement or exercise. Step 3 involves evaluating how they did. Were there errors in the movement? Was there poor performance? Was there poor technique? Step 4 is instructing them on how to correct these errors or bad performance techniques. Okay, so now let's watch the portion of the video in which I describe the movement and the purpose of the rotary torso machine. Hi, my name is Mitchell Frigg. This is my video analysis project for KINE 5004. I am analyzing and training proper technique on the Cybex rotary torso selectorized exercise machine. The rotary torso is designed to work the obliques in a twisting motion. Personally, I find it's great for range of motion. Everyone gets on it because they think they're going to get rid of the love handles. As you and I all know, it doesn't do that because it stimulates muscle growth, which is going to make things larger, not smaller. Okay. Now that we've seen the video portion describing the movement and purpose of the rotary torso, let's watch this video segment describing how to set the proper seat settings, the height adjustment and the rotation. First off, when we get in, we need to adjust the seat. Proper seat height is when you are facing the machine, your upper torso between the chest and the shoulder blades is right there on those pads. So this would be the proper seat. A lot of people will be too high or too low, so that's proper seat adjustment. It's right there. Next adjustment is we want to set the beginning rotation. A lot of people will set it. And now that we understand the purpose and the movement of the rotary torso, as well as the proper adjustments, let's watch this portion of the video demonstrating incorrect form and usage. And I want to demonstrate incorrect form. They don't set it back far enough. Several different incorrect things, and hopefully this has sound. You'll see people going back. You hear that bang because they didn't set it back to a proper range, and they're just letting it slide, and they're going through the range of motion instead of doing proper form and technique and controlling it at all times. Also, I was going a little faster than you should. The higher the rotational speed, the greater the propensity for possible injury. All right, now that we've seen what incorrect form and technique looks like, I want to point out some of the most common errors. One of the most common errors is that people will continue to move side to side instead of just focusing on the one side, left side, or right side working on those obliques. Another common error is that the individual doesn't set themselves to the proper end of range of motion so that they get a full use of the muscle. And now that we've completed the first 3 steps, let's go into step number 4, instruction. After watching the improper performance and incorrect technique and movement, I would like to show you the video of how it should properly be done. Proper adjustment is you want to adjust it as far as you can to one side. You always want to be facing the weight stack and the machine itself. Okay? Then what you want to do is now with my knees facing the left, I'm going to be engaging the right obliques, pulling my knees center, a little past center, and then control the return. But I'm going to continue looking forward. I've set the rotation so that I'm not banging the weights. I'm always getting a resistance on the muscle. That side and back. You're only working one side at a time. So do whatever resistance and repetitions that you're doing to that one side. Come all the way back. Change position. Should be the same position on the other side. Same movement. Now that my knees are facing right, I'll be pulling to the left. And control the return. Okay, so by letting the muscles come back, we stretch. Put that muscle in a pre-stretch, pre-contraction movement. Contract and squeeze. Bring it past center. Control that rotation now. In summation, the Cybex Rotary Torso Selectorized Strength Machine is designed to work the internal and the external obliques of the core. Personally, I feel it's a great apparatus for rotational range of motion about the trunk, but I caution that the movement must be done correctly and must be done at a lower weight to minimize hypertrophy of the muscle. Let's watch this last video segment summarizing the key points of the exercise. So, key things: seat height, proper location, rotational position, speed of movement, controlling that rotation back and forth. It's not side to side, banging and clanging. If you hear the weights clanging, you're going too fast, and we should approach it. Thank you very much. Now that we've watched the video and the Cybex Rotary Torso exercise, I'd like to point out that there are some more alternative movements for working the internal and external obliques that may be more representative of how the human body moves. Rarely are we rotating in a seated position. More commonly, we're moving in a diagonal or a crossing movement or in an upright standing rotational movement. I'd like to show you a couple of slides with some alternative stills. This exercise here is done on a free motion abdominal machine. The cable is basically attached to the shoulder, and the shoulder is moving diagonally across the body in the direction of the hip and the knee on the opposite side, thereby working in that crossing diagonal movement. Utilizing any cable cross machine, you can do a standing or upright rotation, starting facing one handle, turning the torso past the center into the other, just like the rotary torso machine would be doing, except you're in an upright standing position. This is more indicative of how the human body would move, especially in athletic type movements. Here are some references that I utilized. Thank you for watching my presentation.